Hey there, it's Jonathan Mead. In this video, you're going to learn the critical elements necessary to craft your offer to the world in a way that creates the shortest route to freedom so you can finally quit your job. And I should note right now, this works even if you're starting from ground zero or stuck in a job you don't want and have no idea what you might create. In fact, that's where this works the best.
So there's a movement happening right now of people deciding to stop doing dead-end work and start to create their own work on their terms. And people are starting to realize that you don't just have to do work to survive. That's the current world model that we live in. You work to survive and you do your job, you do what you're told, and it's to pay the bills. And that's just the way things are. That's what people tell you. That's the way things are. Well, you know, there's an alternative way, and it's emerging and it's starting to become more known. And that is a way where you create your own path instead of by playing someone else's game on someone else's terms. And instead of you being left in the dust, you're the only one in the race. So Trailblazer is a step-by-step roadmap to an inevitable path to creating your own freedom, creating work on your own terms, so you wake up every day excited about what you get to do, not what you have to do in order to live. And if I'm known for one thing, it's being one of the founders anyway, of this movement and helping people reach that destination in the shortest amount of time possible. And the fastest way to doing that is by getting incredibly clear about your offer to the world. So when people hear it, they get it, and they want to invest with you. And that's what this video is about, is helping you craft that offer and knowing what the most critical parts of it are.
If you're watching this right now, I bet there's a good chance you want to kill your day job, or what I've affectionately come to call renting out your mind, and work for yourself. Maybe you want more freedom, or maybe you just want to stop going to the same boring job, doing the same boring work every day. Perhaps you feel a lack of meaning in the work you're doing and want to feel fulfilled, like you're doing something that matters. And I bet you've probably figured out by now that working at a job for 50 plus years just isn't what you're meant for. Maybe you're scared of ending up like this guy. So you're probably wondering how you can avoid all that, and maybe you've made some plans in the past to try to escape. But it can feel daunting when you're right here and you want to be there. Well, it turns out that there's one thing that can mean the difference between doing this in 3 years, or potentially not at all, or doing it in 3 to 6 months. See, there's a long road you can take that may never lead anywhere. It's kind of like a road to nowhere. If you've ever thought about blogging for months or years hoping to build an audience and then launch a product with no idea if people want to buy, you know what I mean. Well, that can stop now. There's something you can do to change your odds of success dramatically, and it's called your offer to the world. So what the hell is your offer? Well, it involves a few key things. Firstly, it's about the destination that you help other people reach. This is the outcome or the transformation you bring to people. Secondly, your offer to the world includes your core message, or the underlying why. Right here, you're telling people why traveling to that destination is important in the first place. Third, it involves your purpose or your mission. This is about how this is something bigger than you and why you're passionate about it. Essentially, this is your rocket fuel. When you get it right, things are much easier. You can excel and make progress rapidly. You're able to move past obstacles quickly because you have a compass to guide you. But I want to make a disclaimer. This is not a magic bullet. It's not a wormhole in the universe that transports you to overnight success. However, it is what I like to call practical magic. This will still take a lot of work, effort, and you will need to put your whole self into this endeavor. If you're here, I'm going to assume that you're the type of person that doesn't expect a magic pill. You know this is going to take effort, and you're willing to do what actually works. And what I'm going to share with you here is only what's tested and what's been proven to work. An old dead guy named Henry David Thoreau had this to say about big dreams. If you have built castles in the air, your work need not be lost. That is where they should be. Now put the foundations under them. If you have a big dream, an expansive vision that you want to share with the world, then this is absolutely where you should be. However, you need a foundation under that vision for it to take root in reality. Your offer to the world is that foundation. When you share it with others, they get it, and they're ready to start working with you. When you build upon something solid, you create from a place of strength. Getting your offer right means that you're starting from a place of confidence and assuredness that this will work before you start. A castle in the air without a foundation, however, leaves things to uncertainty and chance. And when we're talking about the rest of your life and personal happiness, we don't want to leave anything to chance. When I've gotten my offer right, things have been awesome. And trust me, I spent a lot of time fumbling around, making mistakes, and being met with deer in headlight stares from people when I didn't nail this. There were many times I felt like giving up because no matter how much I tried to communicate what I had to offer others, they just didn't get it. And when they didn't get it, my results were less than stellar. However, I learned a few simple strategies and some simple questions that help immensely when it comes to creating a compelling offer to the world. It means the difference between frustration and the road to nowhere, and a fast track to quitting your job. This is all good and well, rosy, feel-good theory, so I'd like to get practical and share with you a couple of examples. One that got their offer right, and one that got it wrong. This first example is a variation I see all the time, and it makes me cringe. I help people get more clarity to do what they really want. The problem with this offer is it lacks a clear destination or outcome. Clarity to go where, and who are they talking to? Because their offer to the world isn't clear, they'll likely be experiencing a lot of frustration and lackluster results. And inevitably, it means more time being stuck somewhere you don't want to be. So that's depressing. Let's move on and see an example of someone that got it right. I help dads get in the best shape of their lives to build stronger families. This is Tim's offer to the world, and it's incredibly clear. It has a destination, a message, and clearly communicates who he's speaking to. It's no wonder that people are responding to Tim's offer in an incredibly passionate way. So experienced entrepreneurs know this, and it's why they obsess over it so much. They know it can make the difference between calculated success and taking a big risk that could lead to disaster. Now, wouldn't it make sense for you to take this seriously as well? This isn't just a business idea, this is your life we're talking about, and it can be the difference between freedom and being that guy, the one that we talked about earlier. This rule not only applies to creating the right foundation for quitting your job, we see it in other situations as well. For instance, it's well known that most editors spend 80% or more of their time on the headline and the rest of their meager allotment to writing the article itself. This might astound some people, but they know that if they don't absolutely nail the headline, no one will bother reading another sentence. The same rule applies when it comes to quitting your job. It's the old 20% of the effort that creates 80% of the results maxim at work. Here are some of the people that took this seriously, spent their time carefully crafting their offer, and the results paid off big. Kara Stein made $9,000 with her first product launch and was able to say goodbye to her job for good. Lorenzo Azevedo made $4,000 with his offer in the Qigong niche, and this was with a tiny list of only 75 people. So yes, this works even if you don't have a lot of reach. Eric Gray made just over $12,000 with his first product launch in the Chinese medicine niche, and this was with an interest list of just about 200 people. So all of these people had one thing in common, and you probably know what it is by now. They nailed their offer from the beginning. As you can see, this is something worth taking seriously. After all, the stakes are high. We're talking about your happiness here. Staking your claim to get paid to be you and creating your own freedom is something that can change you forever. This is about more than just doing what you love for a living. This is your life we're talking about here, and this one change can have a magnitude of impact on every single area of your life. So my question to you is, what's stopping you? Maybe you don't think you're cut out for this. Maybe you think it's too risky or that you don't have enough time. And there's a good chance you're intimidated about what it takes to get from here to where you want to go. It can be pretty daunting. But what if you could remove all of those roadblocks? What if you didn't have to risk everything? What if you could find a path directly from here to where you want to go? If you think you need to risk it all and sell your soul to make this happen, you don't. I didn't. I carefully waited until I was making a consistent living from my business that matched my day job before I quit. I also had a savings. I had regular talks with my wife before I made the leap, and I did all of this while I was working at a 40-hour-a-week job. Many of my successful clients also have jobs and families to support. They're strapped for time and can't afford to risk anything. If they can do it, so can you. Whatever concerns or fears you have, they can be addressed. Just don't let an excuse like, "My wife won't let me," keep you from working for yourself. Seriously? The moral of the story is to avoid the "build it and they will come" myth. Too many people I know think that they need to build something first and then try to get people interested. They think they need a blog, a bunch of subscribers, a huge amount of free content, and a bunch of connections with influencers. This is just wrong, and it's the reason why most people fail. The truth is that first you need an offer that's proven to work over and over, that's based on experience. Then and only then will the traffic be worth anything. So really, you have two choices. Build it and hope they'll come, or get your offer to the world right from the beginning and build it because people are waiting for you to create it. Pretty obvious which the smarter choice is, right? Anyway, if you don't have lightning clarity, do you really think people are going to have the energy and willpower to try to figure out what you're all about and what's in it for them? Probably not. If someone can't decide in the first several seconds of being on your website or hearing you describe what you do, if they should care or not, they'll probably leave. What's worse, if you don't have your offer incredibly clear, you'll probably hesitate to have anything for sale until you build an audience and then try to figure out what people want. But by that time, people have the expectation that everything is free. And when you do launch a product, they're going to feel like their expectations and trust were violated. People know this is important, and everyone spends at least some amount of time trying to figure out and get clear on what they have to offer the world. But where do people go wrong? Well, most people fail for one of two reasons. They focus on the message or the why, but don't clearly demonstrate the outcome or the destination they're helping that person reach. This causes interest and excitement, but the lack of focus creates uncertainty and indecision. If you're suffering from people not committing, this is probably your problem. The second thing people often get wrong is the exact opposite. They tell people where they're going, but they neglect to get people motivated and inspired as to why this is important in the first place. They fail not because of a lack of clarity about the destination, but because they don't communicate why walking the path to that destination matters. Message and destination are both critical. If you have a message but not a destination, you lack substance and concreteness. If you have a destination but no message, your pursuit is hollow and void of meaning. Both of these elements need to exist in a symbiotic relationship. Their survival depends on each other. If you want to get your offer right and get paid to be you much faster, you need to hone both of these things. Perhaps you've heard of a company called Tom's Shoes. They exploded with viral success because of how compelling their message and outcome was. Every time you buy a pair of shoes, they send a pair of shoes to someone in need. One for one. There's an incredibly clear message and a concrete outcome. It's no wonder why they rose to success so rapidly. They spent a lot of time carefully crafting their offer in a compelling way. Those that succeed find a way to merge the why and the destination. You can do this too. You don't have to bet the farm. You can set yourself up for success before you start. You can create predictable income before you quit. There's never been a better time than now to break free. Individuals or solopreneurs have a huge advantage over big companies. They're more agile. They can connect with their audience in a more human way. That's an incredible advantage. And there's a simple formula for getting this right. In the next video, I'm going to share with you that simple formula that you can follow to begin crafting your offer to the world that will put you on the quickest route to freedom. Then you can put that foundation under your castle in the air and finally begin having a roadmap to doing what you love and quitting your job. See you in the next video. Until then, I'd love to know one thing. What are you most looking forward to when you reclaim your freedom? Answer in the comments down below. The most compelling answer will send a Kindle. So leave your comment down below, and I'm looking forward to reading it.